As kids, when you first watched this movie, did anybody else used to get kind of freaked out by this film? No, just me. Ah, okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Harry Potter review. Now, if you don't know about this, I'm doing a series reviewing every Harry Potter movie, and at the end of the video, I put them in like a little ranking system that I have. It's just 1 through 8, and we just kind of see which one's my favorite, which one's my least favorite, all of that. Just recently recorded and posted the video for the review of the Sorcerer's Stone. That's up on the channel, go check that out. But today we're going to be doing a review for the longest Harry Potter movie in the franchise, and that is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now, before we get started, make sure to leave this video a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And so yeah, let's start talking about Harry Potter. Well, this movie actually off the start is really funny. Something I didn't realize when I was watching it the other day with some friends. I didn't realize that this movie is actually really funny off the start. One of my favorite gags in this film is Ron's owl. I don't know why, but that always gets me, like when it flies into that window. Hilarious stuff. Absolutely hilarious stuff. Also, I talked about this in the last video, but because these movies came out in the early 2000s, the CG looked a little rough at times, but I genuinely think that the CG for the Quidditch match in this one looked much better than it did for the first one. They definitely improved on the CG in that sequence. But anyways, let's talk about the story. Well, in this story, Harry, first of all, finds Dobby. Dobby visits him at home just before the school semester is about to start. And Dobby's like, Harry, don't go to school. There's going to be something bad happening at Hogwarts this year. And Harry's like, Dobby, I have to go to school. So, you know, he ends up going to school, and a bunch of series of unfortunate events unfolds. First of all, Hogwarts, I've said this billions of times, Hogwarts is one of the most unsafe school there is. I mean, there is a lizard snake. Well, they don't know there's a lizard snake off the start, but there's something petrifying the kids, almost murdering them in this one. And Dumbledore's sitting there like, maybe the school will close. Just maybe. What I love about this film is that it has a real kind of horror element to it, I want to say. Not really horror, kind of this eerie feeling to it right when they get to Hogwarts. I mean, first of all, Dobby in the beginning of the movie warns Harry that something bad is happening or is going to happen. And then for a bit, we kind of forget about that. You know, we go on some book shopping. We meet Kenneth Branagh, who plays Lockhart. By the way, he's hilarious in this movie as Lockhart, as this wizard who is faking it. He's faking being this great wizard, and he tells people that he can do these great things, and he fails at all of them, and he's a fraud. He's hilarious as Lockhart. I really enjoyed his performance. And then once we get to the school and Harry starts hearing that there's something in the walls, I really love the filmmaking and the music and the scores because they really sold that eerie feeling. I mean, first of all, when when Harry's chasing down the wall and he's hearing something talking to him in the wall, that's already pretty scary. I mean, Harry's hearing things, right? And then they stumble upon like blood on the wall. I mean, they see it in the reflection. And Filch's cat is like hanging off of a lantern or something. By the way, where did Ginny get the blood from? Like, where okay, Filch's cat isn't dead, so it's not her blood, but where did Ginny get the blood to do the thing, the writing? The stakes are already so much higher. The sense of the mystery. One of the biggest critiques that I gave the first movie is that it lacked an intensity and kind of the mystery aspect of it and some action. It was fun, and it showed us the Wizarding World, and for a majority of that movie we were kind of opening ourselves to the Wizarding World and finding out all these fun things. And then towards the end, the Sorcerer's Stone and the mystery kind of unfolded itself. But in this movie, for a lot of it, the mystery is going on. What is the Chamber of Secrets? What is petrifying the kids? What is happening? There's kind of a lot of horrifying images, I would say, in this film. I mean, if you showed this movie, I said this in the last review, that Chris Columbus, who also directed this movie, not Christopher Columbus, but Chris Columbus, he directed the first 2 Harry Potter movies, so this one and the last one. I said that he has, I guess, a style based on his filmography to make these fun, family-friendly, kid kind of movies that, you know, the whole family can enjoy. However, this one, there's all these images of, like, them finding kids on the ground and they're, like, petrified. I mean, I remember seeing, when I first saw, you know, that shot of like Hermione being petrified, or that kid with the camera, I was like a little kid when I first saw this movie, and I remember thinking, whoa, this is kind of scary. Hold up there. If you showed the Sorcerer's Stone to your kid, so like a very young kid, right? And let's say he enjoyed it. He's like, yeah, Hogwarts, Harry Potter, magic, woo! And you put on like the second one, he'd probably be like, whoa, snakes, petrified. Giant spiders, holy. Also, on the side note of giant spiders, what I noticed after, collecting my knowledge of filmmaking through YouTube and all of that, super smart of them to hide this giant ass spider in the darkness, because the CG was definitely not ready to show that spider in the daytime. So, very smart of them to kind of hide, what's his name? Starts with A. That spider. It's very smart of them to hide him in the darkness. One of the things that I paid attention to is in that final battle, the snake looked a little weird, the one that Harry was fighting from distance, but when they could, like when Harry's hiding and the snake's face is like really close to him and he's like up against those bars, I think they did that practically. I think they built like the snake head and stuff, and I think doing that practically, knowing that your CG can't handle it, like that really sold it, that snake was actually coming at him and it was like humongous. Like when its face is up close to the camera and up to Harry, when it's like in the distance and it's like slithering and moving, it looks a little weird. Seeing these films like 100 times, it's hard for me to point out a twist and be like, how great was that twist, right? Because I don't remember how I reacted the very first time I saw the twist. I've seen the twist again hundreds of times now, but I think that twist, that reveal of Tom Riddle writing, I am, what did he write? He wrote his name and then it switched to I am Lord Voldemort, right? I think that was a great twist. For majority of the movie, again, we don't know who Tom Riddle is unless you read the books. You don't know who Tom Riddle is, and then at the end you find out that it's Voldemort. He's back. Yay! There are two criticisms that I want to give to this movie and potentially the last movie. Well, first of all, it only relates to the Chamber of Secrets, is that it's a little too long. I didn't realize that this movie is almost 3 hours long. It's 2 hours and 54 minutes long. That is almost 3 hours long. I did not realize a Harry Potter movie was almost 3 hours long. And I did not realize that it was going to be Chamber of Secrets. But yeah, this movie is a little too long. I think there's some parts that they could have shaved a little bit there. But the second critique that I want to give this movie is, I noticed it at the end, but I've kind of noticed it throughout the movie, is the dialogue, the writing is a little bit cheesy sometimes. For example, when the giant snake's attacking Harry and the Phoenix comes to help him, and Harry's like looking away because he doesn't want to look at the snake's eyes because he will die. And the Phoenix is like cutting out the snake's eyes, and Harry's looking at it in the shadows, right? So we see it only from Harry's perspective. We see what's happening in the shadows. And Tom Riddle goes, "Your Phoenix cut out my snake's eyes, but he can still hear." It's like, yeah, dude, thanks for explaining to us what just happened. I mean, I was kind of confused as well. It's kind of weird for them to just for him to say that in the moment, explain what just happened. Seemed like lazy writing, seemed like a bit of a cheesy dialogue. So on our little table here, I'm going to go ahead and put Chamber of Secrets in the first spot. So Sorcerer's Stone goes into the second slot here. I think this movie improves on Sorcerer's Stone. It changed the tone a little bit. It goes in this little creepy horror direction. I enjoyed the mystery of it. I enjoyed finding out who Tom Riddle is, what's the Chamber of Secrets, what it all means. And yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed them switching this tone into like this more of a creepy way, So yeah, Chamber of Secrets will take that number 1 spot for now, and Sorcerer's Stone drops to the second spot. So, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, what did you think about it? Is it your favorite Harry Potter movie? Leave all of that down in the comments. I would love to have a discussion with you about that. Leave this video a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next review, which is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh boy, that's going to be a good one. See you guys later.